Pristaya Simate Bhakti Vedanta Saminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Kana Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Can you look at Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's the double sound. Hare Hare. Show me what you're doing so I can do this. There's Facebook is. Oh, but it's on. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare. You're done? Done? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, 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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 I got Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, I got Hari Nita Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Gaur Brahmanande Hari Hari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribhajagacharya Statadasata Sisma Srila Bhai Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya is Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribhajagacharya Statadasata Sisma Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Ananta Guru Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. नमाचार्य सिलोदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त बिंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्यामकुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। आलाचवानी रमणीति धाम की जय। गंगामय जमुनामय की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। तुलसी महारानी की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। निताय गौर ब्रह्मानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Good. We have good numbers here, there. 3 places. That's good. So we'll begin. Our mother Leah is back. Okay. Now, I mentioned this. Why do we chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? Can somebody help me? Why not Om Namo Bhagavate Krishnaya?
Our fellow businesses to Srila Vyasadeva.
No. Vasudevaya, Krishna. But why that form? Because each form, just like you have a name, but that name that we have is really not related to the soul sometimes. Mother may have a blind child because she loves the child so much, she called Lotus Eye. If you look at Lotus Eye and the blind child, it will never match. So in this world, the name of a person, Hare Krishna, welcome back. Please come forward. So in this world, Deho Dehi Namo Nami, the body and the name and the soul, they have no relation sometimes. But in spiritual world, name is the soul. And the soul and the name are one. Krishna and Krishna's name are one. You follow? It's very difficult in this world because if you are thirsty and you say water, 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 you're still thirsty. You'll never get water by chanting water. You follow? But in spiritual world, if you are thirsty, you say water, you're done. Your thirst is quenched. It's very mystical, difficult to understand from material level.
You don't have to drink water.
You don't have to drink water.
Oh.
Just by thinking, just by uttering, because the name and the substance are same. In this world, form and the substance. Imagine you are hungry and you're looking at the magazine of a pasta or whatever. I'm not saying the pasta. Eggplant parmesan. And you're looking, it's so good. Wow. That doesn't mean your hunger is gone. Maybe it's increased. Until you get the food, put it in your mouth, then you feel satisfaction. You follow? But in spiritual realm, this is not relevant. In spiritual realm, eggplant parmesan, the word you say, you are satisfied and you're tasting actually that eggplant parmesan. Difficult here. So, back to this question, why we chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? Everything we do, if we are conscious, we get 100% result. If we are not conscious, just doing it for the rituals, you get 10%, 20%. Now you are doing the things you do anyway, why not you get full knowledge? Then you get 100% result. Make sense? This is Krishna says. He says, Getta Getta Cha Karmani Janayam Anutistati. Vidusa Karma Siddhisya. One who knows, Vidusa, wise, one who knows why they do things they do, they will get the result, 100%. But if you don't know, but you're doing it, you get the result, but not 100%. Some. Okay, so today everybody has Bhagavad Gita with you? Everybody has? Good. So today we are beginning chapter 4. Chapter 4, and we created 10 questions, and we'll begin. First question is, Mother Madhavi, thank you for coming. You know, your friend wanted to come, but she doesn't know how to come. Anyway, next time. Yeah. So first question we asked, what are the most important verses in this chapter that captures the essence of the chapter? In other words, what are the acharyas like your Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada, Baladev Vidyabhushan Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, what sloka they emphasize a lot in this chapter? So we are not going to recite all those verses today because we are going to go every week reciting all those. But I'm going to give you, in case if you think it's a 4.1 to 11, all these 11 verses, then 4.13, 4.34 to 38, and 40 and 42. All the verses are important, but our Acharya focuses on those verses very. It's like a medicine. Pharmacy has all the medicine, but not that you need all the medicine. Some medicine is applicable to you, but others you just leave it there. So all the verses of Krishna is important, but some verses is very close relevant. Like for an example, in this chapter about initiation, importance of Guru, 4.34, so important. You will see every Acharya talk about this. You have the book? Okay, good. Every Acharya talks about that verse, 4.34. Huh? 4.24, there's another verse also in this chapter about how we can see the spirituality in the material world. But material and spiritual are two different things. But here we are going to find out the spirituality is a different reality. It's not a location. Follow? Even though Vrindavan is a location in India, but actually Vrindavan is not a location. Vrindavan is another reality. Everybody understand? Another reality. Like a gunman can come to kill somebody. A child, 2 years old child probably thinks it's funny. The guy is like, I'm going to kill her. He thinks it's funny. But the mature man will say, oh my God, that's scary. He will kill me. So it's a different reality. Even the person is same, but the little baby have no clue. You follow? A baby may be playing with the poisonous snake, but baby has no idea that poisonous snake can kill. So it's a different reality even in the material world. Like Krishna is here, right here, in Bhagavad Gita, in your heart, right in the altar, so many places, everywhere. We are also here. So how come we don't have that perception? Because it's in different reality. If we can wake up in that reality, we will start seeing Krishna. We will see the reality, then fear will disappear. First thing, fear will disappear. All our problem will be solved. Okay, with that note, let's start from the second question. Second question we also send, since if Lord Krishna recommends Arjuna to perform Karma Yoga, previous chapter we discussed. Everybody remember that Karma Kanda means for your sense enjoyment, you want to enjoy more, so you follow the Veda. But the idea is, you are enjoying here, but you want to enjoy more later. In this world or in heaven. But more enjoyment. And whatever enjoyment have, I don't know even devotees are good enjoyer or not. You know, two things you need. Sometimes this doesn't apply to devotee because they are like, they're Haribol, they are with Krishna, they don't care about sense enjoyment. Two things most important in enjoyment, sense enjoyment. Whatever you have, you want to protect that. Make sense? Whatever money you have or sense gratification, you want to protect that and you want to increase. Not that you want to increase and losing this. Make sense? This is called sense enjoyment talk. But Krishna's, Arjuna's point was that why you are trying to engage me in ghastly warfare, when liberation will free me from this material entanglement. So let me not fight in the war. Let me go to the forest and study philosophy and get out of all this problem. I'm disturbed right now. Krishna says, no, you fight, but fighting will bind me. I'm already emotional with my dilemma of who to kill and not kill. So then Krishna suggested, for the welfare of others, you should still engage in karma yoga. Why? Then he gave this beautiful verse, 3.9, previous chapter. I'm just refreshing to the second question. Jagyartha karmana annatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Tadartham karma kunteya mukta sangha samacharit. Very beautiful verse. That verse, every grihastha should remember, or anybody should remember in the world. Jagartha karmana. So what do you do? Whatever you do, you cannot stop working. You cannot stop, eating, sleeping. These are like a day-to-day maintenance you need. Yes? So you need to work to earn money. You need to cook something to eat. You always have to be involved. You cannot just go meditate whole day under a tree. Well, for maybe very rare people, possible. But how many people really will do that? Honestly, in this age, how many? Very rare, almost you don't count. Majority you will be like, get married, family, make money, and do. So Krishna and Arjuna, out of compassion, he said, do karma yoga. What is karma yoga? Jagya artha karma. Okay, I need to cook for the family. I want to offer to God. It is cooking for who? God. Okay, then God ate and he gives the remnant, everybody ate. This is called karma yoga. You follow? Now, if you say, what if I don't do it? Majority people don't do. In America, maybe. I don't know. I didn't count how many actually offering to God. So I said, Annatra karma bandhana. Oh, they will be bound. What is bound means? There is a suffering. For sure. Anybody don't offer food to God and eat, they're going to suffer. Whether mentally suffer, physically suffer, suffering is there. Okay. So then Krishna's suggestion is, Arjuna, if anything you do, whatever you are born to do, you are born to be a fighter. You fight for me. Otherwise, you'll fight for Maya. But if you fight for Maya, you'll struggle and there is no name, fame, nothing. You don't gain anything. But if you fight for me, you'll be glorious and there is no sin. Mukta Sangha Samacharit. You will live like a liberated person. Why? Because you fought for me, not for you. At the same time, you will be glorious. You will enjoy the kingdom. So what is the gain? It's only gain, but there is no loss. So this was the whole point. So question here came, okay, in short question, what did Prabhupada say about karma yoga and jnana yoga? You have to know those vocabulary, this word, not English necessary, Sanskrit. Karma yoga. Even Beefeater, all this, they go to yoga center, they say yoga. They say this Ashtanga yoga. I heard this girl is talking about it. I said, do you know why it is recommended? Then I was speaking that how to harmonize with the material world and this body, you need Hatha yoga. You have to harmonize the physical body and the material world, one yoga. Harmonize the material body with the material mind, pranayama, another yoga, Ashtanga yoga. Then harmonize mind with the soul, called jnana yoga. Harmonize soul with the super soul, dhyana yoga, meditation. They harmonize this Krishna and you as a devotee, there's bhakti yoga. There is a ladder, you follow, there's a ladder, you go slowly, step by step. She was appreciating a lot and she was pronouncing those yoga very well. So we should be aware. What is karma yoga means? Prabhupada says 10.10. You can literally look in Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Prabhupada says karma yoga means in the purport. Just remember this. You know the word addiction? Addiction means you feel helpless. Everybody understand the difference between essential and addiction? Essential means you cannot live without it. Food is essential. If you don't eat food every day, you will get sick and die. But smoking can be addiction, but you can live without smoking. Not that you will die. That's not true. But people feels that they cannot live without smoking. You follow? That stage is called addiction. Not that they will not survive. They will survive, but they feel they cannot live without it. It's called impel. First is desire. Desire contemplated. It became impel. Then it become compel stage. Impel to compel means I have to have this. How can I live without it? I can't. I have to have it. Beg, borrow, or steal. I'm not promoting anybody, anything. But they think beg, borrow, or steal, I have to have this. That's called compelling. It's okay. I talk too fast. So from compelling, when your desire becomes so strong, you feel like you cannot live without either whatever the addiction, sex or alcohol or whatever, smoking. You feel that it's impossible to live without that. That's called irresistible. And it turns into addiction. But still, it is not essential. Essential means to maintain this body and the soul together in this world, to do bhajan. Food is essential, but these things are not essential. So why I'm bringing this? Because Prabhupada used that word addiction in every time on that purport. He said, you know what is the goal of life, but you are addicted to fruitive activities. You ever know what I'm talking about? Oh, I know Krishna Prem is goal of life. We have to serve Krishna under Srimati Radharani, Guru Parampara, all the way to Gurudev, Prabhupada like this. But I still like to, enjoy world. I wonder if I buy and sell car, I can make some money. I cannot give up this enjoyment spirit. Even though I know goal of life, this is called karma yogi. They are Krishna conscious practicing, but they're still thinking like, can I make another $100? I can do this. I can just buy and sell it. Yeah, I'll make that. I'll do it. They cannot give up. There's nothing, and it's not that necessarily they need the money. It's like they cannot give up this addiction. That's why it's called, Prabhupada put it very good. Then what is Jnana Yogi? Jnana Yogi means they also know the goal of life, that they have to chant, they have to do this. But in their mind, they cannot give up this speculation. I know we should read the book, but what if, nobody went to the moon? What if they went to the moon? It's like unnecessary. They go, thank you. You have to sit down here. You have to sit and listen. Thank you. I love this boy. He's wonderful. So this is, everybody understand that goal of life, but you cannot give up the sense gratification. Then you are called not pure devotee. Sorry, don't feel bad. You are called karma yogi. Goal of life, you are practicing, but you still holding the enjoyment. Even you are old, still cannot give up. You'll find this all over the world. And another is called Jnana Yogi, means goal of life, you're practicing, but you cannot give up speculation. Why did Daksha is like this? I mean, Daksha is a good man. He tried his best. Are Baba, he commit offense. Can you understand this? Yeah, this happen every day. Don't worry. Why are you coming up with this? Because they cannot give up speculation. You will see amongst us, we cannot give up speculation. They are called Jnana Yogi. They are not advanced devotee. Even though they act like this. Everybody understand this? We have to come out. Yes, mother.
Sorry, I just wanted to clarify. So when it says speculation, it means something that's not in the text, right? Something that you mentally are adding.
Very good. You're asking a very good question. Actually, you can look at in chapter 14, the first verse in the purport. You can look right now. What did Prabhupada say about it? Prabhupada said, 14.1, you can see in the purport. Prabhupada says that when you speculate, can we give up speculation? It's almost impossible. So if you can speculate, if it is backed up by the scriptures, then it will bring you to bhakti. But if you speculate on your own, I mean, really, like Krishna has to like kill all the 100 children of Gandhari. I mean, that's like a miserable. He could have lived one child at least. Why are you thinking like this? Because you like to speculate. Now, any scripture supporting what you're thinking? No, that is called mental speculation. It will take you to hell.
How is the difference?
Now, if the speculation referred by the scriptures, okay, for an example, Krishna says, Rasaham apsu kunteya. Krishna says, I'm the taste of the water. Now, when you think, Krishna says he's the taste of the water. Oh, there's the water. He's the taste of the water. Yeah. I wonder how Krishna is the taste of the water. Wow. How is taste of the water? And you can think, is that mental speculation or philosophical speculation? Philosophical. Very good. There's nothing wrong. You can speculate that. Actually, this will bring you close to Krishna. But Krishna says, I'm the taste of water. 7th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Rasaham apsakunte pravasmi shashishujja. And you think Krishna is taste of water. You believe that? Now, what is that? What that speculation? Now, yes. What is that will do? Take me away from Krishna. Everybody understand very subtle? Philosophical speculation back up by philosophy or guru instruction will bring you close to Krishna. But mental speculation will take you away. Thank you. Okay. So what was the leading point? Arjuna's question was that, no, we discussed that karma yoga, karma. Okay. The next is the chapter 1. I mean, text 1. Let's read together. Everybody ready? Chapter 4. You have Bhagavad Gita, Prabhu? You're going to be scholar one day. You better, somebody give him a Bhagavad Gita, please?
You have one over there.
Where? Oh, here, Prabhu. Take it. Okay, what page can you tell him?
13.
Chapter 4.
Chapter 4, text 1. Everybody together, okay? Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasate Jogam Praktavanaham Apayam Vivashan Manave Praha Manoriksha Khave Bravi. Who is going to start reading? Mother Gaurangi?
The personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivaswan, and Vivaswan instructed it to Manu, father of mankind, and Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. Herein we find the history of Bhagavad Gita traced from a remote time when it was delivered to the royal order of all planets, beginning from the sun planet. The kings of all planets are especially meant for the protection of the inhabitants, and therefore the royal order should understand the science of Bhagavad Gita in order to be able to rule the citizens and protect them from material bondage to lust. Human life is meant for cultivation of spiritual knowledge in eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the executive heads of all states and all planets are obliged to impart this lesson to the citizens by education, culture, and devotion. In other words, the executive heads of all states are intended to spread the science of Krishna consciousness so that the people may take advantage of this great science and pursue a successful path, utilizing the opportunity of the human form of life. In this millennium, the sun god is known as Vivaswan, the king of the sun, which is the origin of all planets within the solar system. In this Brahma Samhita, it is stated,
Samasta Suramurti Rasesa Teja Jasa Gaya Brahmati Sambrita Kala Chakro Govindamadi Purusham Maham Bhajami.
Let me worship Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, is the original person, and under whose order the sun, which is the king of all planets, is assuming immense power and heat. The sun represents the eye of the Lord and traverses its orbit in obedience to his order. The sun is the king of all planets, and the sun god, at present, of the name Vivaswan, rules the sun planet, which is controlling all other planets by supplying heat and light. He is rotating under the order of Krishna, and Lord Krishna originally made Vivaswan his first disciple to understand the science of Bhagavad Gita. The Gita is not, therefore, a speculative treatise for the insignificant mundane scholar, but it is a standard book of knowledge coming down from time immemorial. In the Mahabharata, we can trace out the history of the Gita as follows.
Treta Jugado Chato Vaivashan Manavedado Manascha Loka Vritti Artham Staka Vakavedado Ikshako Nacha Kotito Bepayo Lokan Avastitaha.
In the beginning of the millennium known as Treta Yuga, the science of the relationship with the Supreme was delivered by Vivaswan to Manu. Manu, being the father of mankind, gave it to his son Maharaj Ishvaku, the king of the earth planet and forefather of the Raghu dynasty in which Lord Ramachandra appeared. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita existed in human society from the time of Maharaj Ishvaku. At the present moment, we have just passed through 5,000 years of Kali Yuga, which lasts 432,000 years. Before this, there was Dwarpa Yuga, 800,000 years, and before that, there was Treta Yuga, 1,200,000 years. Thus, some 2,005,000 years ago, Manu spoke Bhagavad Gita to his disciple and son Maharaj Ishvaku, the king of the planet Earth. The age of the current Manu is calculated at last to last some 350 billion, maybe 305,300,000 years, of which 120,400,000 have passed. Accepting that before the birth of Manu, the Gita was spoken to the Lord by the Lord to his disciple, the sun god Vivaswan. A rough estimate is that the Gita was spoken at least 120,400,000 years ago, and in human society it has been extant for 2 million years. It was respoken by the Lord again to Arjuna about 5,000 years ago. That is the rough estimate of the history of the Gita. According to the Gita itself, and according to the version of the speaker, Lord Shri Krishna, it was spoken to the sun god Vivaswan because he is also a Kshatriya and is the father of all Kshatriyas who are the descendants of sun god, or the Surya Vamsa Kshatriyas. Because Bhagavad Gita is as good as the Vedas, being spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this knowledge is aparushaya, superhuman. Since the Vedic instructions are accepted as they are without human interpretation, the Gita must therefore be accepted without mundane interpretation. The mundane wranglers may speculate on the Gita in their own ways, but that is not the Bhagavad Gita as it is. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita has to be accepted as it is from the disciplic succession, and is described herein that the Lord spoke to the sun god spoke to his son Manu, and Manu spoke to his son Ishvaku.
So there is a two question rises. One question is, who's supposed to speak Krishna consciousness philosophy or Bhagavad Gita? Generally in Varnashram system, the Brahmanas are trained for 6 things. Pathan, Jajan, Dana, Patigra. Pathan means They are supposed to read themselves, understand, and also teach others. But here Krishna is using not Brahmana. Who he is speaking to? Kshatriya. Arjuna is a Kshatriya. So the question is that proper? The Brahmana is supposed to speak the philosophy and give. But then if you look at Krishna's giving the reference as you read, he spoke to the sun god. He's a Kshatriya, another. You follow? And his son Manu, who is the leader of the mankind, human, he is also Kshatriya. And his son is Ikshaku, which is also like a millions and millions of years back, also Kshatriya. So question comes that what is the proper? So then if you look at the history, one devotee also discuss about this, the history of other religion, if you look at it. Krishna says, first of all, in previous chapter 31 verse, that this knowledge is eternal. It's not something new Krishna is speaking. His knowledge is eternal. But this time out of compassion, he's revealing this. Now, if you look at it, how Buddhism spread the world. Do you know history of Buddhism? It was King Ashok who made it visible. King Ashok is the one who actually made the Buddhism all over, spread it. If it was not king, Buddhism was very secluded. If you look at, I was checking also in Christianity, first 3 to 4 centuries, it was persecuted religion after when Roman Empire has accepted its spread. If you look at Christianity also, it's always like this. And now Krishna is speaking to Arjuna because Arjuna is a Rajarshi. The word Rajarshi means, Raja means, who is Raja? He controls the society. He's like a loving father. He looks at the society, citizen externally. And Rishi is the master of the inner world. You follow? The master controller of the external world is called king. But master of the inner world is called Rishi. So when somebody is endowed with both quality, who has a inner devotion to God, he knows the purpose of life, also externally he is helping the citizen or others, then he is a perfect candidate. Make sense? Because he may be a ruler, but inside he has his own prestige. He's looking for his own name, fame. He's looking for his own wealth. He's not a kind person. He may be leader. So a perfect leader means he has to have a both. What he has to have he is a controller of inner world and external world. External world leader could be president, could be king, whoever it is. But do they have an inner world controlling? Means are they connected with God? Do they know the devotion to God? Are they dedicated for God's pleasure? If somebody has both, then he's called Rajarshi. You follow the word Rajarshi? Means outer and inner. So Arjuna is like this. When somebody is like that, they can actually spread Krishna consciousness. It makes sense? It makes sense. That's why, because Ashok, who actually spreaded Buddhism all over the world, because of him, because he adopted Buddhism. He was also the ruler externally, but internally he also accepted. He was practicing. Most of the leader, what they preach, they don't practice themselves. Internally, they are not connected with God. So it's difficult for others to follow. And ultimately, it does not really benefit. Now we go to the text 2. In a shorter version, I'm just saying because of the time. There's a question, text 2 together will do. What is the meaning of Rajarshi? What is the importance of Dharma? The Bhagavad Gita reveals who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The purpose of life is to surrender to him. Oh, another question also, the previous sloka. Arjuna is hearing from Krishna, who is also born from Mother Devaki and Vasudeva's place. Well, he's not born, he appeared there. Actually, he's not born in Nanda Maharaj's house. But in Mathura jail, Krishna never born. Everybody is aware, Krishna appeared. Nobody is born with a crown, gold, forehand, big, 16 years old looking. He appeared there. So question is, Arjuna knows that he is a child, he was from child, he's grown up big. How he spoke to somebody million years back? And if we both were there, how come I don't remember anything? He remembers. This is a very key point. Please say loudly. We are eternally dependent on Krishna. Unless you accept this, you cannot grow spiritually. You always surrender means, surrender has a many division. 2 is a functional and 4 is internal. One of the 4 internal is you always feel like dependent on Krishna. Even you have money, you have a house, don't depend on yourself. Depend on Krishna. You follow? Krishna means Guru, Krishna all together. But depend on Krishna. Do you see Brajabasi? They depend on Krishna always. Every situation, they always depend on Krishna. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he looking for? They are always pleasing him, but they are always depend on him. This is something you have to build because it is eternal. Surrender is not something like a graduation from high, college or something, and after that you don't have anything to do with it. Just you got the certificate, that's all. No, surrender means it is what built you. You are a substance, not the form. Form is okay, important, but substance is important. Our character, our dedication, our devotion, these are the real who we are. Everybody getting this? It's not how much we do only outside, how much we actually have inside. How much connection, what devotional attitude we are building. These are the real substance who you are. And Krishna pays attention to that. In one of the questions you will see, Krishna does not look at the magnitude. Oh, I'm a big guy, I do so much service. But what intention you have when you serve? As a good example, we all know that Hanumanji lifting up big mountain to build that bridge, big boulder, rocks. And the squirrel was little dust. I mean, materially calculation, this dust will never do any help to build a bridge on the ocean. To be honestly, yeah. But what did Ram tell to Hanuman? It is the attitude I count, not the magnitude. So Hanuman learned, oh, okay, squirrel is as important as me. Not that Hanuman, because he's carrying big boulder, he's important. The squirrel is not important. In spiritual life, it is not the material life. Material life, if you have more, people think, oh, wow, driving Mercedes, well, must be a big guy. But spiritually, Krishna looks at your attitude, devotional attitude. It's very important. We learn from here. So we'll go to the second. Oh, I didn't answer the first. There was another question that how did he speak million years back to sun god, and now he is here, young man? And what was the answer? Krishna says here. Actually, will say that yes, we always there together many times, but you don't remember anything. Why? Why? Because we have a dependence on Krishna. You follow? Krishna also has a dependence on who? On him. Who made Krishna as supreme God? Himself. For who? For himself. Of himself. Try to understand. But we cannot claim that. We always have to depend on Krishna. This is very important. Also, how do you know you are an American girl, Mother Gaurangi? Because your body. You follow? You grow up like this. Yeah, I am American. What is talking about? Yeah, I mean, I'm not going against your desire, but you come up with the idea that you are American girl. How you come up with this? because you identify the body. Last life, maybe you were an old sage in Himalaya, who knows? But you have no memory of that. So you cannot identify with that. Can you see that? So we identify everything with this body. We take new body, we forget previous things. Oh God, this is horrible. But Krishna never takes birth. As a result, he never forgets anything. Everything is there within him. You follow? So he remembers everything. Million years, billion years, doesn't matter. Everything is there with him. But Arjuna doesn't remember. Everybody got it? It's a question of faith. Faith is the foundation in bhakti. More faith you have, but not blind faith. This chapter has 434. As a Prabhupada said, blind faith is condemned. We'll discuss when we come to that. So let's do that text 2. We'll do together. Okay, everybody ready? Evam parampara praptam imam raja sayo vidhu sakaleneha mahata yoganasta parantapa. Would you like to read? Yes.
The supreme science was thus received through the chain of discipline succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost.
Purport.
It is clearly stated that the Gita was especially meant for the saintly king, because they were to execute its purpose in ruling over the citizens.
Hold on one second. Why saintly king? I explained. Can somebody tell me why saintly king? Why preaching has to be done? Not anybody can preach, but that person's internal character and external preaching both has to have a combination. Everybody got it? Otherwise, external preaching is not enough. Internal character, connection, internal, how he believes, how much he has faith on Guru Krishna, how much he really has a devotion. This together has a force. That's why Prabhupada used the word saintly king. King means external, ruling the country. Saintly means inner world. He's the king of the inner world. In his own world, his senses, everything controlled. His behavior, everything is controlled. He's controlling inner world, also external world. That's called saintly king. The Prabhupada, simple sentence, but very deep meaning when we understand. Okay, go ahead.
Certainly, Bhagavad Gita was never meant for the demonic persons who would dissipate its value for no one's benefit and would devise all types of interpretations according to personal whims. As soon as the original purpose was scattered by the motives of unscrupulous momentators,
Unscrupulous, like a person twist everything, used for something else, not for the purpose. Okay.
they arose the need to reestablish the disciplic succession. 5,000 years ago, it was detected by the Lord himself that the disciplic succession was broken, and therefore he declared that the purpose of the Gita appeared to be lost. In the same way, at the present moment, also there are so many editions of the Gita, especially in English, but most of all of them are not according to authorized disciplic succession. There are innumerable interpretations rendered by different mundane scholars, but almost all of them do not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Although they make a good business on the words of Sri Krishna, this spirit is demonic, because demons do not believe in God, but simply enjoy the property of the Supreme. Since there is a great need of an edition of the Gita in English, as it is received by the Parampara disciplic succession system, an attempt is made herewith to fulfill this great want. Bhagavad Gita, accepted as it is a great boon to humanity. but if it is accepted as a treatise of philosophical speculations, it is simply a waste of time.
Thank you, Prabhu. You did very good. So this is very important that when we read Bhagavad Gita, maybe for a moment we should think also, what am I trying to do here? Okay, we are hearing Bhagavad Gita, but what's supposed to happen? What my attitude is? If you only want to collect the knowledge, that's good, but you will not go too far. You have to apply the knowledge in your consciousness. Oh, so Bhagavad Gita, there is a purpose. Purpose is to become Krishna conscious. But if hearing, I'm gathering knowledge, but I'm not interested to advance in spiritual life, I don't want to serve, then what am I doing? Wasting time. Or if we'll speculate, oh, I learned something, I can use it in my business and this, that. That's a advantage taker. Jagai and Madai, everybody heard their name, I hope. Not that they are auspicious name. But Jagai Madai, every day they used to study Shastra. Sounds very fascinating. But in the Shastra, Bhaktivinoda Thakur write, they would say, what else happened? Oh, this demon did this. That demon did this. Oh, we didn't do that. Let's do today. Stop the Shastra now. So they would go outside and do this horrible thing. And then next day again, let's read the Shastra. Now, they're studying Shastra, but the purpose is lost. Purpose is not to create the story of a big demon, because Shastra says this, or this demon, this. So they focus on the Shastra for that. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote a little poem about it. That when we read Shastra, we have to have an attitude that first Krishna is so kind that he's revealing this. You understand, when Krishna revealed in Mahabharata, you may think Duryodhana, actually, materially, Duryodhana was a good leader, but he was not a good leader. Wait, it's contradicting. Good leader means he cares for the citizen, but he does not know the ultimate purpose of the citizen. Ultimate purpose is not to keep this body comfortable in this world. Because this body has timer, timer. One day is good, another day is bad. And death can come any moment. But this body is given just to awaken our love for God. If the person, Duryodhana, never knew this, even he hears it, he doesn't get it. So even Duryodhana, that means all the Kauravas, that time there was no real understanding. That's why Bhagavad Gita, again Krishna spoke. Why Krishna spoke that time? Because people are not religious. They do not understand the essence of life, purpose of life. Everybody understood? That's why Bhagavad Gita, again, Krishna spoke. So this is very important. Now here, the fact in the question we put, the time. Everybody is aware of the time. There was a time I was poor. There was a time I was rich. There was a time I was alive. There's a time I was dead. I'm dead. There's a time I was a beautiful girl. There's a time I became an ugly lady or whatever. Do you see the time? Time can create good thing to bad things. It's like time is like such a effective in our life. Can you see that, Paul? Sure, you didn't have a gray hair. Now you have a gray hair. This is time. Time causes this. So he says the Bhagavad Gita is imperishable. Yes, means is not touched by any ulterior motive. But can it be accessible or inaccessible? What did we learn? When Bhagavad Gita can be accessible? When a qualified saintly person speak Bhagavad Gita. Now somebody may be very scholar. Now I give you an example. If you go in a train, I don't know, American train, I never rode. Maybe I did, I forgot. But in India train, if you are in a train, what do you need to get in the train to go to another destination? You need tickets. Now, if the ticket collector comes, you say, I'm a PhD guy. Why do I need a ticket for? Ordinary people know. Now, PhD has anything to do with the requirement? So don't mix up. Somebody is a scholar on Bhagavad Gita, somebody is a genius, intelligent, has nothing to do with Bhagavad Gita explanation. I'm trying to give you some idea. What Krishna is saying here, that qualification for a Bhagavad Gita speaker is devotional. Somebody has to be devotee. Somebody has to know the purpose of Bhagavad Gita, that Krishna spoke out of love for us. And a purpose of Bhagavad Gita to awaken our feeling for the Lord and engage in the service. Do I need to be very educated to understand Bhagavad Gita? No, you need devotion. So in the train journey, if you say, well, I'm a big scholar, doesn't matter, you still need a ticket. Can you understand that? Otherwise, they will tell you, you will be double fine, or they will tell you, get down. Because in the train journey, everybody needs a train ticket, whether you are a fool or an intelligent, doesn't matter. Train ticket has nothing to do with fool or intelligent. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, speaker should have a devotional quality, dedication. These are the things. You follow? Not that we have to be scholar, we have to be like a PhD. These are not accepted by Krishna or Arjuna. Everybody got it? Okay. Then we'll go to the text 3 together. Sa evayam mayate adda yoga prakta puratana bhakta shime sakha cheti rahasyam hi etaduttamam. Mr. Kumar, would you like?
Sir, that very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme is straight told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of the science. So there are two classes of men, namely the devotee and the demon. The Lord selected Arjuna as a recipient of this great science owing to his being a devotee of the Lord.
See, why Krishna chose Arjuna?
Devotee, pure devotion.
Because he's devotee. Now, if we become a devotee, actually Bhagavad Gita will be revealed to us by Krishna's grace. So if Bhagavad Gita is not revealing to us, means I'm lacking of devotional quality. Look at, examine your own place. It makes sense? Okay, keep on going.
Yes, but for the demon, it is not possible to understand this great mysterious science. There are a number of editions of this great book of knowledge. Some of them have commentaries by the devotees, and some of them have commentaries by the demons. Commentation by the devotees is real, whereas that of the demons is useless. Arjuna accepts Sri Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and any commentary on the Gita following in the footsteps of Arjuna is real devotional service to the cause of this great science. The demonic, however, do not accept Lord Krishna as he is. Instead, they concoct something about Krishna and mislead general readers from the path of Krishna's instructions. Here is a warning about such misleading paths. One should try to follow the disciplic succession from Arjuna and thus be benefited by this great science of Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Now, ultimately, actually, Krishna is infinite. Infinite, you can never approach, actually. On your own, you can never approach. You can never do enough austerity or chanting or anything you do to force the infinite to reveal. Try to understand this. It's not possible. Then how infinite will reveal? When he sees you are proper candidate, that you are following your guru and you're becoming actually hungry for Lord's mercy. When he sees that, he will reveal. So who decide? Krishna. He is infinite. He will see, he knows your heart. He decides when you are ready, he will reveal. Otherwise, you will never be able to approach. It doesn't matter how much you read Bhagavad Gita every day. It doesn't matter. If the devotional quality is not developing, you are not going to get the mercy. The purpose of reading Bhagavad Gita is to become devotee. So that has to be always in the back. Okay, we'll do text 4 together. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma param janma vivashata katham etad vigyayam tam ado praktavaniti. Who would like to read? Okay.
Arjuna said, the sun god Vivasvan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed the signs to him? Purport. Arjuna is an accepted devotee of the Lord, so how could he not believe Krishna's words? The fact is that Arjuna is not inquiring for himself, but for those who do not believe the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or for the demons who do not like the idea that Krishna should be accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For them only, Arjuna inquires on this point, as if he were himself not aware of the personality of Godhead or Krishna.
Now, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Just ask yourself, did you have a doubt? I did have a doubt long time back. Really, like Krishna is there always, eternally? Like, It's like not convinced completely. I could see within me. But now that doubt like removed by the mercy of Vaishnava. But the doubt was there. Really, like Krishna never dies, it's like eternally there. But we die. It's like, how is this? Like, it's like a not confirmed. As long you don't have two things, you will be still advancing. Even if you have a doubt, doubt is not necessarily bad. Doubt gives you an opportunity to examine your focusing, whether you are going. You follow? If you do not hate Krishna, if you have a resentment against God, this will kill you. That nobody can change. You have to change within you. And if you cannot do, take shelter of senior devotee and say, I have a resentment. Resentment is like, resentment, something happening in my life, and I'm a nice devotee. Why this is happening? Krishna doesn't care. I don't think Krishna hears. You don't even have a faith that actually Krishna hears and he sees. Literally. Sometimes devotee, I'm being honest, they do have a doubt. I don't know if Krishna really hears. This kind of not a good idea. You have to have a strong faith on the word in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Upadrasta, Anumanta, I am sitting in your heart, I witness, I sanction. We have to have a faith. Even if we don't have strong faith, at least don't go oppose. I don't believe it. Nobody, you didn't tell anybody, but you're telling to yourself. This is dangerous. Means demoniac nature is there. But if you say, I don't have strong faith, you can be honest, a strong faith. I wish I could have a strong faith, believing everything Bhagavad Gita saying. You follow? When you are open-minded like this and you pray, the mercy will start flowing to make you strong. But if you just deny, then you're blocking. Duryodhana had this problem serious. But Bhishma, there is opposite side, he never had this problem. You remember last week we mentioned also. The Bhishma Dev, even though he's fighting against the Pandava, but he never against Krishna's trust. He always saw Krishna as a cure. I have a problem. Where is the cure? It's Krishna. He always saw, even though he's against. You follow, he's fighting on the opposite side, but he always thought Krishna is the cure for my problem. If we can have a strong faith, or at least some faith on that, okay, ultimately Krishna will hear my prayers and he will purify me. If we just have that feeling, then even if you don't have a strong faith, Krishna will allow you slowly to come up. But if you like, I don't know, just close the book, just let's do my things. You just completely like, don't have a strong faith, any faith at all. That's dangerous. These are subtle things we can rectify within us. Okay.
As it will be evident from the 10th chapter, Arjuna knew perfectly well that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the fountainhead of everything, and the last word in transcendence. Of course, Krishna also appeared as the son of Devaki on this earth. How Krishna remained the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, the eternal original person, is very difficult for an ordinary man to understand. Therefore, to clarify this point, Arjuna put this question before Krishna so that he himself could speak authoritatively. That Krishna, the supreme authority, is accepted by the whole world, not only at present, but from time immemorial, and the demons alone reject him. Anyway, since Krishna is the authority accepted by all, Arjuna put this question before him in order that Krishna would describe himself without being depicted by the demons, who always try to distort him in a way understandable to the demons and their followers. It is necessary that everyone, for his own interest, know the signs of Krishna. Therefore, when Krishna himself speaks about himself, it is auspicious for all the world. To the demons, such explanations by Krishna himself may appear to be strange, because the demons always study Krishna from their own understanding. But those who are devotees heartily welcome the statements of Krishna when they are spoken by Krishna himself. Devotees will always worship such authoritative statements of Krishna because they are always eager to know more and more about him. The atheists, who consider Krishna an ordinary man, may in this way come to know that Krishna is superhuman, that he is Satchidananda Vigraha, the eternal form of bliss and knowledge, that he is transcendental, and that he is above the domination of the modes of material nature and above the influence of time and space. The devotee of Krishna, like Arjuna, is undoubtedly above any misunderstanding of the transcendental position of Krishna. Arjuna's putting his question before the Lord is simply an attempt by the devotee to defy the ascetic, that deistic attitude of persons who consider Krishna to be an ordinary human being, subject to the modes of material nature.
So here it's very applicable in our life also. Like Krishna is revealing himself. You can ask yourself, who can reveal about you to somebody? Who can reveal? Who can reveal about you the most?
Yourself.
Yourself. So when Krishna himself proving his supreme God and he's revealing himself through Bhagavad Gita, we should accept it. You follow? Even mundane way we say that who can know more, knows me the most? I, myself. So why can't we accept Krishna's word? What Krishna says? I am eternally existing. You taking birth, every birth, you forget what happened last life. But I never take birth. Ajopi, aja means no birth. Ajopishan abhayatma, bhutana mishropisham. Prakritim sham adishta, or maybe there's next sloka is the same. Prakritim sham adishtaya sambhavami atmamayaya. By my internal potency I appear. Appear means, you know the word manifestation? Manifestation means become visible. Manifestation doesn't mean like he was not there, now is there. No, it is always there. It's making visible. That's all. The curtain is closed. So the next question on the 8, I'm just going to summarize because of the time. We're going to have like 2 more sloka will go. That non-devotees may argue that God helps devotee and kill demons according to the Shastra, because the next sloka, we are just going to read the sloka and the translation, not the purport, because we'll go to the next all the way to the 10. Can we go do like that? We'll just read the sloka and together and the translation. Okay, what number we are? 5. Let me get the book. Okay. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Bahune be betitani janmani tavo Arjuna Tani aham veda sarvani natam veta parantapa. Mother, can you?
Personality of Godhead said, many doors, both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, or secure of any.
Okay, next slokam. Ajopi san abhayatma bhutaram issaropi san prakritim sam adhistaya sambhavami atma maya. Trivikram Prabhu.
Although I am born and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear every millennium my original transcendental form.
See, this we have to start believing. That's what Krishna is saying. We have to start believing. That's why you see the faith. Text 7. Jada jada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata bhuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijami aham. Mother Gopi.
Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself.
Okay, text 8. Let's see. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya chadushkitam dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami juge juge. Mother Yena. Yeah. Hilda say, just say Jane, you'll be okay.
To deliver the virus and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion. I myself here, millennium after.
Very good. Text 9, together. We did that, no? Janma karma chame dibbam evam jo veddi tattatah tekta deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. Mother Madhavi, would you like to read?
One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his abode again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna.
So if you know only two things, if you know his birth and his activity, pastime, then what will happen? Two things also. You know two things will happen. You will not take birth anymore and you will go to him. It's very nice. Isn't it wonderful, merciful? Okay, for today, the last verse, 10. And then next time we'll do for the 11 too. Okay. Bhita raga bhaya krodha manmaya mamvasvita bahovogena tapasa putamat bhavamagata. Keshav Prabhu?
11?
No, 10.
10. Okay.
No, we already read.
Oh.
Translation.
Oh, translation. Okay. So
where do you find Brahmani? It's a Bhita Raga.
Which was location?
This one.
410.
410.
410.
Okay. Okay.
You're in 5, Prabhu. I can read it, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Let him read. He didn't.
Let's chapter 5, Prabhu. Let's go back.
Give him your book.
Yeah.
And you exchange your book with him.
4:10. Yeah.
Okay. Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me, and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. As described above, it is very difficult for a person who is too materially affected to understand the personal nature of Supreme Absolute Truth. Generally, people who are attached to the bodily conception of life are so absorbed in materialism that it is almost impossible for them to understand how the Supreme can be a person. Such materialists cannot even imagine that there is transcendental body which is imperishable, full of knowledge and eternally ignorance, and completely miserable. Therefore, people in general keep this same bodily idea in mind when they are informed of the personal form of the Lord. For such materialistic men, the form of the gigantic material manifestation is supreme. Consequently, they consider the supreme to be impersonal. Because they are too materially observed, the conception of retaining the personality after liberation from matter frightens them. When they are informed that spiritual life is also individual and personal, they become afraid of becoming persons again, and so they naturally prefer a kind of merging into the impersonal void.
No, that's good. So this we'll end with this conclusion. This is very important. Unless you actually cross these three obstacles in your life, you cannot actually approach Krishna. Well, first of all, the positive thing is the faith is the most important factor in development of Krishna consciousness. This is what this text 10 is promoting. It is said that process of bhakti, Krishna consciousness, is essentially about developing faith. In the Shatashvatar Upanishad, it is said, Prabhupada mentioned, that Vedic knowledge are revealed to one who has equal faith to two personalities. If you have equal faith to two personalities, who are they? Krishna and Guru. No, not yourself. Thank you. To Guru. That's a good try. What did I say? You have to have equal faith to Krishna and Guru. When you have a Jasya Deve Para Bhakti Jata Deve Tatha Guru Tashyata Katita Artha Prakashante Mahatmana. Then the secret of this Krishna consciousness will be revealed to you. If you have equal faith to your Guru and Krishna, both. So, question is, what is faith? Faith, Prabhupada writes, it's an unflinching trust in something sublime. You know the word sublime? You think I knew? No, I learned it. I thought I knew sublime means like easy. No, sublime is not something simple. Sublime means like a hard, whatever, hard materials become semi-solid, no, solid to the semi-solid, then liquid, then evaporate. You know, there's a process, it goes. When you say sublime means from any situation, anybody can come to Krishna consciousness. Instead of going from solid to semi-solid to semi-liquid to liquid to evaporation, the whole process, they can just straight go transcend without going through the whole purification. The power of Krishna consciousness is so much right now, just by chanting, accepting Guru, and practicing sadhana. You follow? This whole process is called sublime in one word.
Sorry, can you repeat then what is your answer to the question, what is faith?
No, Prabhupada said, not me. 2.41, you can look at Bhagavad Gita 2.41. Prabhupada said, unflinching trust in something sublime. Think like, what is unflinching trust? What is sublime? Sounds like a simple English, but actually they have a deep meaning. Means if you take the process with faith, doesn't matter what background you come from, meat eating or first-class vegetarian, it's same thing. Doesn't matter in spiritual life. Why? Because if we embrace the process with strong faith, you can shoot straight transcendence. Means you can cross the three modes of material nature. So this is very important. Everybody understood that point? Now, what are the three things that Prabhupada mentioned in the purport? This is wonderful. That misconception. First misconception, really you have to remember this. First misconception that beyond this material energy, that there is soul, I think beyond the material energy, the soul, what is that? You mean like another material body I will get? In the spiritual world, I will have a spiritual body. What is like that? I'll be like another boy body, girl body, because I have no idea about spiritual. So I'm guessing something may be better. Okay, I'll look like a little more handsome or what? You try to figuring out from where? From the material body. You follow? You're trying to putting little adding something good, but still material. Everybody understands? Can you relate that? You're really thinking spiritual, but you have no access of it. So what the misconception is that there is nothing beyond material energy. That therefore the soul is also a product of material energy. I know I'm spiritual, but when I liberate, I'll get another body like this. No, Baba, you're not going to get body like this, but you're thinking like this because you don't have any other thought about it. Everybody understand this point? This is called misconception. You cannot advance if you don't cross this. Second misconception. What is the second misconception? You can read that purport 4.10. Very nice. That whatever form personality express, Krishna is eternal. I know. I mean, like, you know the formula for water? H2O. It was million years back, same now. So something like Krishna's form is like that, right? No. Oh, Krishna's form is eternal. The formula is also eternal. Million years back, same water formula, million years from now, it's the same. So I think something like that. In other words, you cannot get out of the material some way because that's what your experience. So you think Krishna's form is eternal. Krishna says he was there million years back speaking to Bibhashan, sun god. Now he is with Arjuna's friend, but he just took birth in Nanda Maharaj's house. So something like eternal, okay. Something like eternal, like we don't get a wrinkle. Krishna doesn't get wrinkle, right? Something like, not really. It's not like a no wrinkle. This is the misconception. You cannot put any material idea. When Krishna says, I'm eternal, ever fresh, just accept it. We may not understand, just accept it and say, my Lord, maybe you can reveal. I cannot understand. Because all the conception I have, what do you have? You are a young boy, Bill. Now he's a grown-up Bill. So you think, oh, like when I was young like that? No, Krishna is not like when you are young. It's like nothing you can put material, but we try to put some way. You know, Golok Vrindavan is like a beautiful square. Oh, I remember my bedroom is like a square. Generally, bedroom is like a long, my bedroom. So you're putting something, you have a picture of this, and you're putting Golok Vrindavan is like my bedroom square, but it's bigger, you know. No, it is not like that. This is another misconception. Everybody understand? I'm just trying to make it. And the third misconception. What is the third misconception? That there is no higher experience beyond sense gratification. I remember when I was first in love with that girl, oh my God, it was so good. I forgot everything. She was like an angel. Then later on, I don't know what happened. I don't want to talk about it. But it was so good. So you think like Golok Vrindavan is like, I'll meet Krishna. Wow, like when I fell in love first. No, nothing about this world. See, you cannot get out. You're trying to bring some way. I remember the movie I saw. I was so happy. No, it is not like this. Golok Vrindavan is not like a movie of a fascination. Nothing of this world, you follow? But we cannot give up the thinking of this world to think of spiritual. So what should we do? Just accept it as it is, that I don't understand, but just start believing it and pray that Krishna will reveal. But this three misconception is the biggest obstacle. Believe me. Even I heard one speaker was speaking other day, somebody sent me text. He said, just like when you go pay tax. So Nanda Maharaj went to pay tax to Kamsa. That day Putana came, and so he's giving the story. His story is true. And he says, so he felt depressed. Like when you feel, you know, your only child died because you went to pay tax to government. And government like a demon, Kongso was like this. So he's trying to make a drawing. I said, that's not how it is. Nanda Maharaj and Krishna's relation is not like you pay a tax to some demon and you feel like you have a relation with your child. Yeah, you can say something like that, but actually has nothing to do with like this. You follow? How long you stared your son's eye that you cannot blink your eyes? The gopis, they looked at Krishna. 4,320,000,000. I don't know if you understand what is that years means. Do you know what is 4 billion years means? It's a number to me. I really don't understand what is 4 billion number. Because I only have experience like maybe 30, 40, 50, that's it. I don't even know 100 years what it is, unless I pass through, When you say 4,320,000,000 years, they were staring at Krishna and they still want to look at him. That is unbelievable in one sense, but we have to accept it. Yes, Krishna is that kind of. It is not a child. Child, if you look at, after half an hour, you get tired. You want to like rub your eyes or something. What is this? Well, that's what it is, because it's the material body. It's not something we can compare. So these three misconceptions, if you give up, you are in the spiritual realm. So wonderful. So hopefully, also another point in that purport Prabhupada made, that when we think of Krishna, it's like, wow, he killed the demon. It's like some big guy, Stalin or Lenin or Hitler or somebody killed so many guys. You put like something, theatrical figure. Is Krishna a theatrical figure to a devotee? It should not be. Krishna is a loving friend, loving master, loving bosom friend, like this. You have to meditate on that way. He's not a theatrical figure on a stage. Krishna is so genius, he's so beautiful, he bewildered everybody. Those are good, but it's not like this. You have to have a bhakti to grasp those. So what should we do? What is the solution? What is the solution? We should keep on developing faith. Faith is the key. Faith has its own eye. When I look at the deity, can you look at the deity that non-stop and don't move, forget about eating, sleeping for days? Let's see. I'll make arrangement that they will not close the altar if you really want to do that. But guess what? Even myself, when we go in front of the deity, after a little while, what else is here? Who else is here? But Krishna is not like that. Means I'm not seeing Krishna exactly. I have some idea, but I'm not seeing Krishna. So how do we see Krishna? With the faith. The faith, more we have strong faith, we can actually start seeing. It's another reality, another level of reality. So we have to have a strong faith. Yes, Mother.
Can I just ask you a question? With the understanding that we can't do anything on our own, that we are totally dependent on Krishna. To take what you just said in that regard, then our prayer should be for him to give us that faith, because we.
Very good. Subjective. That I'm the subject. He is going to reveal himself. Nayamatma prabhachanana labba no medaya no bahuna srutena. Tasyasya atma vibrinita tanum sham. Krishna himself says, I will reveal to you. You cannot see me. And even if you see him, he reveals, still your attitude will make you go closer. Dhritarashtra could not, he said, can you excuse me, Krishna? Everybody is glorifying you, seeing your universal form. I was born blind. Can you remove my blindness so I can see? Krishna said, it is not the eye can see me. I like that discussion here. So Krishna gave him the eye to see. He saw. Did he become devotee? What is the use of that vision? That means he actually did. It is not that Krishna, it is the devotion we have to have. that actually see Krishna in his original form.
Isn't our devotion then still dependent on Krishna, or lack of devotion?
Two things. Our endeavor, he sees, then the mercy comes. It is not that mercy will come first, then we'll endeavor. No, our endeavor and mercy has to be together. So more you desire, more you really try, more you chant, more you trying, and you praying for the mercy. This combination will reveal.
But is our desire and endeavor something that we can push forth, or is it something we need to?
Your desire is coming from you, not from Krishna.
Not from us.
Not from you. You creating that. I want to have darshan. I want to really serve him. I really want to. You really feel the urges. Prabhupada said two things, intensity and purity. How pure your desire? Because people come to God not necessarily for bhakti. They come for a lot of wrong reason. Somebody had a problem in Alachua, had a problem in relationship. It's in Mangalarti every day. So after I mentioned this many times because I learned through them, because Shastra is one thing practically. I said, why, you are very serious? He said, yeah, I'm tired of life and everything. I said, that sounds like frustration. Frustration does not last too long. Bhakti cannot sustain by frustration. He said, what does that mean? I'm tired. I'm going to go. I said, no, bhakti cannot. You have to come up with the positive. Negativity will not. Sure enough, after 6 months, he found some another Mataji and it's gone. And then after 1 month, I saw him. I said, what happened? You coming every day now? Well, you know, things changes. I said, I know, but at that time, I thought you said straight, you going with frustration. And I knew that bhakti does not sustain by frustration. Bhakti sustained by conviction, determination. How the conviction comes? From inner connection. How you sadhana, how you feel to please the Lord. The devotional attitude. This inner connection actually give you the conviction. You take a vow, but how are you going to sustain on that vow? There has to be inner connection. It is not a mechanical. So like that.
So if our desire is coming from us, and I guess the effort is coming from us, is not coming from Krishna. So that means those are the things we can directly affect and increase.
Correct. Then proportion to that, Krishna will reveal to you that much. Yes, mother.
I don't know, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is always saying, I alone cannot do this. We're always hearing that I want what is manifested in his heart to be manifested in my heart. So that's where everything should be directed there. Like
That's true. That is true. But you also, something you have to give, not the philosophy in the sky, but in relevant on the ground. Why you are here? I notice you coming to Bhagavad Gita every Wednesday. Why you are coming? Because you have some attraction. Can you see that? Otherwise you would not come. Be honest to yourself.
Yes.
You have attraction. What is that attraction draws you to Bhagavad Gita? Because there is attraction on Bhagavad Gita. There is attraction on Sadhu Sangha. So you literally repeat that to Krishna. I do this. The Krishna, I am hearing Bhagavad Gita. Obviously, I am interested. Whether I have feeling that or not, but I am acting on it. And Bill is also coming. So I'm going there. That means I have some attraction for you. Can you make me more with that feeling, please, my Lord? Then it will be easier. I'm trying. I'm going Bhagavad Gita. I'm chanting. I'm endeavoring. And you're not lying anything. You follow. You're genuinely speaking. Otherwise, why you come? I ask myself. I told the Lord, my Lord, why I get up in the morning? Because I want to chant. I want to serve you. I want to really remember you. But I'm not grasping. I'm fallen. Please help me. Please help me to come with the feeling so that I can be steady, strong. And Lord reciprocate. Philosophy is one thing. Good. We have to serve under Guru. But ask you, you're serving under who? It's not that Guru is a metaphor. It's a reality. I'm serving because his energy is there. His power within me, that I'm following his instruction. He's there in his instruction. Not necessarily has to be a photo on the altar only. Then he's there. Guru is not a form only. Guru is a substance, instruction. When we follow instruction, then Guru is there with us. You follow? Like that, something like that. Yes, Prabhu.
Not to deviate so much, but why we cannot remember past? I mean, just like Arjuna, Lord Krishna was telling her, I can remember all my past, but you cannot. But why humans cannot remember past, or even residues of past?
Well, that's a very nice question. I'm going to try to give a short answer because it has a long discussion. It is only the mercy of Krishna why we don't remember our past. Because if we remember past, we won't be able to move in this life. If you really, for an example, there is a person who was brutally killed, the neighbor boy, it's a true story from Purana, was so brutally killed, and the other guy said, let me leave, let me leave. Then he would cut his left arm. So please let me leave. Right arm, just a slowly chopping. Now this man didn't have a child for a long time. And finally, by the mercy of saintly person, he got the child. So after the child born, he's a rich man, and he made a big toy house for this child. Even the child is like a little baby, not ready to play yet, but he's going on. Playground for the child. He's creating like a whole future for the child. 6 months old child dead. And he's devastated. So devastated. He could not function. Then the saintly person who blessed him with the child, he appeared. He said, hey, why are you crying? I told you the child will be the cause of your happiness and suffering. I already told you, now he caused you happiness when he's born. Now he's causing you suffering. But he didn't understand what is that means. He thought, child will be little naughty, I'll discipline him. He didn't ask him, what is that means, you giving the name. So then what happened? But this man would not listen, the saintly Guru. He said, I am devastated. I cannot see anything in worth of living in this world, everything. Anyway, final discussion is, he said, I can bring the child back. You can? Please, please, yes. Hey child, get up and talk. Your father is crying. The child got up and started talking. 6-month-old child died. He said, who is my father? Every life I had a father, mother. Which number is this? I don't remember any father, mother. And this rich man said, don't talk like this, child. I'm your father. What do you mean you have other father, mother? I'm the only father. You are my child. You have a whole future. I made it so wonderful. Don't leave. He said, you are my father? How sad. He said, sad? Why sad? Don't you remember? I was your neighbor. I wanted to survive. You are chopping my hand, this hand, that hand, and brutally you killed each part of my body. Now, you may not get it. If you are a really brutally killer, you remember everything, how you kill the person. They don't forget. For us, it's a story, is a theatrical figure. But for the person who got the pain of brutally get killed, it's not a theatrical figure, it's a real. Consciousness carries life after life with us. And when whole thing revealed, this man says, He turned this saintly person. I want to become saint. I don't want anything of this life. I don't want I have nothing to do with this world. All of a sudden he became saint. Out of what? Out of what? Life. No, the fear of life. Living is pain now. Because whom he killed last life, that person came to take the revenge as his own son. And he built all his wealth. The child is 6 months old. He made a playground for the boy. He's so much in love, but he has no idea who is that child. So now question came, if he did not know the child, maybe he could live normally. Knowing really our past, you will not be able to live sometime. It is the mercy of Krishna that Krishna did not reveal our past. Leave it like that. I can give you many stories like this. One day I spoke only whole class about this. And I saw that audience got scared, everybody, like looking each other. Gosh, they're looking even their own family, who is who. That was not the purpose, but so my point is, Krishna is extremely merciful. Krishna is so merciful that he does not reveal our past. So we can use our free will. You follow? Because out of fear, if you become devotee, you will not last long. Fear can help us to come to Krishna, but our ultimate goal is devotion to Krishna. Anything can bring, but it will not last too long unless we develop devotion, bhakti. Bhakti will last forever. Love for Lord will last. Okay, we'll end here. Do you know this is 8 o'clock? I'm supposed to stop at 7. Sorry.
Jai Haribo.
Hare Krishna, Mother Isha Panisha.
Jai Hare Krishna.
He's a great soul. One of the senior disciple of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj.
I am so
okay, we are going to
unworthy.
chat. Thank you, Mata. Thank you.
Thank you
So we're going to
so very much.
Thank you. We're going to sing for 1 minute and then we'll Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna, 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya
Prabhupada,
Prabhupada, Jaya
Prabhupada,
Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Pancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhuvaivacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo Ananta Guri Vaishnavindra Ki Jai. Thank you, Prabhus and Mothers. Thank you.
Jai,
Thank
Hari
you.
Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna.